Danger! Do not enter. Let's stay until where the sign is. Look at this. Here it's fine. A long time ago, a cemetery was a source of fresh bodies. Guys, there's a road straight here. Look. I'm curious. I'm gonna go there, right? Because it seems to have a mausoleum just for them at the end of the road. And that's right. There is only this mausoleum here. This road is only for this one mausoleum. Let me get close to it. What is it? It has no name, has nothing. It's a very different door. Let me film here. There's stained glass there. It's very dark inside. It's a very different door. Hi guys, before continuing with this video, I ask you to subscribe. In every video, I ask you to subscribe. Besides subscribing, follow us on other social networks. All the links are in the description of the video. If you also want to contribute to the channel, you are always welcome at our Patreon page, all links in the description. Hi guys, I'm Tiago, and I'm Patricia, and this is the channel Time Took It Away. We are here in one of the 7 magnificent cemeteries of London to show it to you. This is a very cool cemetery. As we must pay $10 to pop in here, it is better cared for. Its streets are cleaner. It has guided tours, clean public toilets, and everything working fine. This is the cemetery of Highgate. Here was a village called Highgate, far away from London. When Parliament passed the bill authorizing private cemeteries, this was one of the first. It is far from the city. It was founded far from the city. But today, it is well inside the city. London grew a lot. At one time, it had no more than 1 million inhabitants. And today, it is within the city, with almost 10 million in population. Here is the tomb of Karl Marx. He was a famous writer and philosopher, and his book, Das Kapital, is still read today. Like all cemeteries of this time, the Victorian era, there is a chapel divided into 2, one part Christian and the other part dissident. Guys, please note the shoe scraper there. Patricia, try it, please. It was common to clean the dirt from the shoes' soles. We can find it at several entrances, churches, any public buildings, and even houses. Everyone had it. Here's a tomb of a famous person, a writer, Douglas Adams. He wrote several books, including The Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxies. It is a very cool book. I advise reading it if you like to read. You will figure out that it's cool. There are several pens here because he was a writer, so the visitors left here a tribute to him who died in 2001. Guys, here there is another war tombstone. This one is from the First World War. There are several like this one in this cemetery. This cemetery is divided into two parts, one east and one west, because there is a street in the middle of it. They bought only the first part as an undertaking, and it was so good they acquired another part in front of it. Here, there is an Egyptian and Lebanese place. But what are these? These are places where they buried people with these beliefs, different from those Christian beliefs which were current at that time. Here is another war grave monument. Look, here is the entrance to a place here in the cemetery that is called Egyptian Avenue. Let's go inside and see how it looks. At the gates, we can see two columns and a giant obelisk. And here is the main entrance. I was lucky. It was empty now, but just before, it was crowded. I was waiting for them to go so I could film it. Let's go. On both sides, we can see graves. Passing by Egyptian Avenue, there are Egyptian tombs next to each other.
It is a very dark place and gives an impressive view. It's very dark indeed. We think that it is a closed tunnel, but it is not. The trees on top of the tombs make it look like a tunnel. It is too dark, overwhelming, and scary to look at.
The person's name is marked on the jamb from the door here. Very different. Look. The door is standard. They all have the same door. You don't see anything inside fully closed like this one. But there is one there that has a grid. I will go there and try to spy inside it. Come with me. This one that has a grid is not the only one, but it is empty. This place is like a circle. You go through this way, turn around, and appear on the other side. Let me do a complete walk through this circle. Here you can see another way out. Just a stairway. And then I'll be right back at the beginning of the circle where I came from. At first glance, it looks like a tunnel, but it's not a tunnel. It's just covered with lots of vegetation. So looking now, it's just an entrance, a corridor, and graves are side by side. Guys, here in this columbarium, there are several human ashes. Let me check if I can film inside it. I can, but just through the grid. Hey guys, time is relentless indeed. Here there is a grid, which is an ornament around the tomb, and the tree grew up and took the grid itself. Let's look at the other side. Yes, it is coming out to the other side. Look. The tree grew with the grid inside it. Here the vine grew up, climbed on top of the tombstone, and covered everything. This tree is impressive. It looks like it got off the ground here, but no. It's bent, and it grew from a side. And its root is here, behind this fern. Look. For a long time growing up here. This cemetery was not planned, not even to be a garden or a reservation, different from the others that I've shown them on our channel. If you haven't seen them, come on and watch them. I have videos about cemeteries that are gardens. I have videos about cemeteries that are reservations. They were parks before they became cemeteries. But here there are just ferns. They are very pretty. It's summer now, and they are growing everywhere. This mausoleum, guys, is a mausoleum from a person called Julius Beer. He was the founder and editor of a newspaper very famous, The Observer, and it has a very sad story about it. His 8-year-old daughter passed away, and that's why he built this mausoleum. Besides his daughter, himself, and several members of the family are buried inside. Here we have some of the catacombs. They are closed for visiting. So there is a huge locker. Nobody visits or enters. This building has this purpose, to be a catacomb. There are several chambers here. There are 2 more in the corner. As I said, here there are some of the catacombs, crypts, and more. Here is an entrance, but it is closed. There in front, we can see the main entrance, and just with a guided tour can enter here. I realized this because I saw a group of people who booked and managed to enter. This avenue inside the cemetery is called Faraday Path. I showed you its plaque with its name, and Faraday was nothing more than a genius, a physical, a mathematician. To me, he is the most essential figure in this cemetery and one of the most influential figures in England. Faraday did a lot of experiments and discovered many things about electric energy and magnetic fields. Everything that uses radio waves must be wrapped in a cage called a Faraday cage. It is usually an aluminium shield, I will arrive at his grave right now. Danger, do not enter. So, let's stay until where the board is. Side by side with the main walls on the other side, you can see the street. So, here it is. Michael Faraday, born on September 22, 1971, and died on August 25, 1867. Also, his wife. Here we have a tomb of a very famous person, Thomas Sayers. He was a boxer who used to fight with bare hands, without gloves, without anything, and it became illegal. His funeral became an event with many people, the press, and everything else. And they put at the grave a statue of a dog, representing a dog he had, although the dog was not buried there. It was super faithful to him, so it stayed there in its memory. This is very different. Normally I took photos or filmed at the cemeteries from angels with spread wings or standing up, but one as this, lying, it is the first time. This is so unprecedented. That's why it is the website or the book's cover. It is very famous. Mary lying in her grave, with this angel on top of it. And this tomb has a horse on top, because here is buried the official of Queen Victoria, who sacrificed sick horses and stuff like that in his era. This cemetery was the busiest that I've seen. It is busy from a tourist's perspective. You will find people with cameras, people paying attention, groups of tourists, and guided tours. It all happens here but does not happen in the other cemeteries. In others, people go to practice sports, walk with a dog, ride a bike. Here, as it is paid, nobody does that. People come to visit the place. We arrived at the end of another video. But videos like this one and others you find on our channel. That's why I ask you to subscribe to our channel. Subscribe, activate the notification bell, and follow us on our social networks. So thank you for watching this video until the end, and until the next one.